Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to DESTRO'S Desk. Today on the channel, we're going to take a look at the newest Deluxe figure in the G.I. Joe Classified series. We've got the Dreadnought Poacher, Clyde Hyde himself, otherwise known as Gnawgahyde. We have got the brand new, more compact packaging from Hasbro, and there is a lot in this box to go through, so let's take a look at it. As you can see in there, we have lots of weapons and accessories. We've got Gnawgahyde, and we've got his pet friends. We've got Porkbelly, and we've got Yobbo. On the side of the box, we've got that QR code for more information on Gnawgahyde. He is number 125 in the series. And on the back of the box, you can see we have Gnawgahyde in action with Porkbelly and Yobbo in the background. Now, there is no other spoilers I don't see in there. There's no other figures or vehicles or anything like that hiding. So no spoilers, or there's no Easter eggs in there that I can see. We've got a couple shots here of Gnawgahyde. We've got some tattoo work on him. Old Porkbelly's got a nice jewelry in his snout. And Gnawgahyde sure likes his jewelry. Looks like he's got some necklaces with some teeth, and he's got some dog tags. And on this side of the box, you can see some nice artwork of Gnawgahyde with his pet friends. And again, he is number 125 in the G.I. Joe Classified series. So let's get old Gnawgahyde and his friends out of this box, and let's take a closer look. Alright, I've got everything out of the packaging, and let me say right off the bat, I think we have a couple issues with some of the weapon accessories. The way they were packaged, not very good at all. So let's take a look at the weapons and accessories first, and I'll show you what I mean. So right off the bat, take a look at the sniper rifle that comes with Gnawgahyde. We have seen this before. This is the sniper rifle that comes with low light earlier on in the series. Now, the quality of the plastic for the main part of the gun is pretty good. It seems to be a little bit stiffer. The one part that was a little bit bent in the packaging was just the tip here of the gun. And while I was trying to straighten it after I took it out of the package, I now have a stress mark right where it joins up to the rest of the gun, which don't like that at all. I like how this part of the gun here is much more stiff than we're used to seeing, but now I got that stress mark on there. Unfortunately, it does come with the case the gun will go into with the attachments, so the attachments do come off. Silencer does come off and can go in there. The sight comes off, and the magazine will come out, and all that can come apart and go into the carrying case. It is molded in a green plastic. The black is a paint app. Overall, the gun looks pretty good, and I like how they added the green for a little bit more of a camo look. Now, the one part that I was very unhappy with is the machete, and that's how the machete came out of the package. Now, come on, Hasbro, you got to do better than that, because there's no reason why this need to be all mangled into the packaging, all bent up like that. And as you can see with this machete, it is very gummy still. Nothing improved on this piece. It's very bendable, which I don't like that at all. So I don't know if I can try heating this up and putting something on it to try to flatten it out, but the way it sits right now, I don't even want to use this on the figure. It's very disappointing that that's how it came out of the package. One other thing I don't like that they've done for this figure is why they put these wrist straps on here. I understand it will connect to his wrist, so he's not actually hanging on to it in hand. But for me, I'd rather have it that it's like a regular machete that he's holding on to in his hand. I would not have added these here at all. I don't think that was necessary. So it's molded in flat black plastic, and they did put a nice silver paint app on the blade of the machete, but very unfortunate that that's how it came out of the plastic bubble in the box. Just brutal. What are you supposed to do with that? So that's unfortunate. We do get two knives. They're identical and flat black plastic. There is a little bit of texture on there for a handle grip, and they did put a nice silver paint app on the blade, so it does look pretty good. Now these are the same. These are just like a plastic butter knife. Way too flexible. These need to be solid plastic, not bending. But fortunately, these did come out of the package nice and straight, so there's not it's not too bad. We do have his hat. Oh, I like this hat. Very similar to Recondo's hat. This one on top, we see the band around it. It's got the teeth in it. Very Crocodile Dundee-ish type hat. So I like that. I think that looks pretty good. And that's just molded into that brown plastic. Got the light brown paint app around the band there, and then we got the white app on the teeth. So a good looking hat for Gnawgahyde. And then we get to the bow. Now the bow right out of the package was also a little bit bent, and the plastic is very gummy on this also. You can pretty much bend it in half. Now I'm not into archery or hunting or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure a bow isn't supposed to bend all up like that. So much better plastic was needed to be used in that for sure. This piece here, which is a bow stabilizer, they did add that and it does come off. And this was just molded in that same green plastic, and we do have some black paint apps on the both ends of the bow. So it looks really good, but unfortunately the quality of the plastic is terrible. I definitely don't like that at all. So there's the bow, and then we have the quiver with the arrows. Now this is molded in that same green plastic. We do have a brown paint app on there, which makes it look nice. There are 4 arrows, 3 of them are molded in, and we do get 1 arrow that can come out and be used when displaying your figure in any action poses you want with the bow. And this is again molded in that same green plastic, and there is that same brown paint app on the end. Also on here, I did figure out finally that the bow will fit into this piece here to carry, and the stabilizer, I'm assuming, can go in either slot, this one here or the one on the side, but there's not 2 pieces to go into each hole, so they just, I guess, added an extra one, which don't think was necessary. Just pick one and just go with that. But overall, it's not too bad. We'll see how that pegs in on them. Hopefully it stays secure. So that's about it for the weapons and accessories. Right off the bat, I'm not too happy with some of them, as I said. Hasbro's got to do better. Some of their weapons look like they're getting a little bit better in this newest wave, but overall, it's still lots of room for improvement. All right, so next up, let's look at these animals that come with Gnawgahyde. So we'll take a look at Yobbo. And Yobbo, who appears to be like a monkey, I had to look up the pronunciation of what he's actually, and he is called a macaque. Yes, that's right. So old Yobbo is all one piece. There is no articulation on him. He does have some different paint apps on there, some different shading, some good sculpt work on the texture for the fur on him. There are some darker paint apps down around his hands, feet. Got a lighter paint app underneath, a lighter gray color. And for his face, we got a vicious looking face on him. He's even got an eye patch, and that is painted in a brown. And we can see we got some nice big white teeth on him, looking pretty ferocious. And I'm pretty sure if you look close enough, there might even be a little bit of blood on that fang right there. So Yobbo looks pretty cool. Not sure if I'm a big fan of needing these animals to come with Gnawgahyde, but this is what we got. So not too bad looking Yobbo there. And unfortunately, he does not, with no articulation, he does not sit nicely, so he's just gonna have to stay there. And then we've got Porkbelly, the warthog. Now this guy definitely had some work went into him. There is a lot of articulation on Porkbelly. Some really nice sculpt work. They've added in a lot of texture, line work for the fur. Some really nice piece for the hair and the mane on the back of him here. And a really good looking head sculpt. There is some different paint apps throughout. Different shading, as you can see around the hair and the fur around the side of his head here. Some really nice looking teeth on him. Now, I don't know what you call that, like a, is that like a, I guess that's kind of like a tusk. And his jaw fell off. What happened there? Well, looks like the bottom part of his jaw there snapped in there. All right, I think we're okay now. But I think that's like a tusk. On this side here, it looks like it's broken off. There almost looks like there's something stuck in there like a nail, which is weird. It's kind of got a silver paint app on there. And for that bottom jaw that fell out, you can see there's some nice paint work in there. We got the tongue, more teeth on the top of the mouth there. So it looks pretty good. And then we got that big piece of jewelry in his snout, that big silver spiked ring, which is a nice added touch. So this warthog definitely looks like he means business. He is definitely a ferocious looking beast. And as far as the articulation goes, so we do have that mouth that does open and close. And again, his jaw fell off. So another issue right there, that will not stay in very well when you open it up all the way. So I guess That's about as far open as it goes before it's gonna fall off. But there is articulation on the head there. There is on the neck area. So there's lots of movement. All 4 legs have multiple points of articulation. We have it kind of in the shoulder area there, and we have a joint there, which these are pinned, and we have one around like the ankle. So it's the same for all 4 legs. So they definitely put some good work into the articulation for this guy. The tail moves also. So there's lots of posability with Porkbelly. So Hasbro is making some pretty good animals that come with these figures. I'll have to say, I don't think they've made a bad one yet. Just wish his jaw wouldn't fall off, but other than that, definitely a good looking piece. And since old Yobbo doesn't sit on his own, we'll put him back up on Porkbelly for a ride, and we'll just set him there. Hopefully he stays standing. All right, so that's about it for all the accessories. We got the animals. So next up, the man himself. Let's take a look at Gnawgahyde. Now, I have to say, I do like the look of Gnawgahyde right out of the box. And let me tell you, he is a beefy figure. There's definitely some weight to him, and he definitely has some height. We got a good looking head sculpt on him. Very reminiscent of the original figure from the Real American Hero line. We got that big bald head, and we got that beard with the old handlebar mustache. And then I noticed they gave him that underbite with the teeth there. The color of the lips look really good. The eyes look on point. We got a little bit of line work under the eyes. Eyebrows look good. So the paint apps on the face look really good. There's no issues there. We do have a tattoo on the side of his head. And we'll just focus on that. So it looks pretty good. And then on top of his head, we got a couple lines on there. Now, I'm not 100% sure what those are. Are those claw marks? Did he take some claws to the head? Or is that a little bit of a comb over? I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to say it's probably scars. He's probably taken a good swipe to the old noggin. So it looks pretty good there. So a good looking head sculpt on him. And then moving down, we got a big beefy chest, upper body. Under there, it looks pretty good. And then on the arms, we got more tattoos. Kind of hard to tell what's going on there. It looks like there's a bit of a skull. You can see the end of an arrow. There's a knife or a dagger coming down there. So you see a snake head down at the bottom. So a good looking tattoo. On the other side, we got that big red anarchy symbol on his left shoulder. And then moving down, we got this band around him, around his bicep. And again, we've got some more teeth in there. So he definitely likes his teeth. And then it looks like we got a wrap, a spiked wrap that goes around his forearm. And those spikes do pop, and they are painted with a silver paint app. Black gloves on him. And on this wrist here, another wrap, again with some of that yellow and more teeth. So he definitely has a collection of teeth on him. And then we have this really cool vest. I really like this piece they added on. It's got that leopard print, which is a really good throwback to the original figure in the Real American Hero line. So that looks really good, fits him good, it's nice and snug, it's not too loose. Now he does have these necklaces, and once again, more teeth, and he's got some dog tags. But in the package, or when I first took him out, these things were all up and around, but you just have to tuck them under that vest a little bit for them to lay down. But once they're laying down like that, they look pretty good. So the upper body on Gnawgahyde looks really well done. And then moving down to the legs, we have a belt, and there's not molded on him. This belt is a separate piece, and that's molded in a brown plastic. We got a nice silver paint app on the buckle there. Got a couple black grenades. And on the other side, we got a couple green. I don't know, those are like flashbangs, different style grenade. And then on the back, we got a little tie hanging down there. And we've got a fuzzy looking knife sheath that kind of matches those bands on his arms and matches with what looks like the fuzziness of the vest. And then he's got just light blue pants on. We got some pockets around the thighs, a couple on the front, a couple pockets on the side, and nothing on his knee on his right leg. But on his left leg, he does have this green piece that I'm assuming is for when he's kneeling down on his knee, using his sniper rifle, just as some extra padding, extra protection for that knee on the ground. And then going down to his boots, he's got some, looks like black boots on him. And again, he's in that same green color. We got some nice plates on the front that are buckled on in case he has to do any kicking to help protect his shins. And then around his right ankle, we have another knife sheath that's strapped onto the boot. There is another pocket right there, and the knife sheath is this piece right here. So overall, I think the look of Gnawgahyde for this figure is really well done. So far, for me, the figure is really good. I really like it. One thing I noticed here too is that this figure does not have pinless joints. There are pins in the elbows and in the knees. And for articulation for Gnawgahyde, so for his head, the head does not, well, it does go 360, not that it has to. There is good left and right movement, so it looks pretty good there. It does move the necklaces around his neck when you move his head, so just cut those back under there. For the shoulder joints, the arms do extend fully upward into that T pose, so there's nothing blocking, nothing restricting the movement there, which is nice. We do have those butterfly joints there that appear to work well. We got the usual, the bicep cut, and as I mentioned, just gotta push that band up a little bit. As I mentioned, there's double pinned elbow joints, but that one seems to move very well, and same with this side. There's no issues there with the movement, so good movement there. And he does have the ab crunch, which does move freely, and it's not loose. It does kind of ratchet into place there well, so there's no issues with that. For waist movement, there is a good twist, so that works good, and there really isn't any gap in there that looks off, and that belt will just sit along there nicely anyways, just to kind of hide that. But good movement there in the waist, nothing's too loose, which is good to see. And we got the usual thigh joints and really nice smooth movement there. And for the knees, as I said, we got the double pinned knee joints, and that one moves very nicely, and they both move very nicely, so that's awesome, like that. And we got that boot cut, and that moves really good. And we've got the foot articulation up and down, a little bit of left and right. Yep, we got left and right. So overall, the figure is really well done, I think. The articulation is great. Quality of the work that went into Gnawgahyde seems to be really good. I'm loving the figure. I'm a big Dreadnought fan. I love the Dreadnoughts. I love all the figures that they've had come out so far. Still waiting on Torch. Definitely can't wait to get him. But I do like Gnawgahyde. He is a favorite of mine. So far, the figure of Gnawgahyde is pretty impressive in my opinion. So next up, we'll get all these accessories, weapons on him. We'll see how that looks. For the bow and the quiver, so I just wanted to show how this can attach on. So that stabilizer can come off, do either that slot there or this one. So I guess whichever one you prefer. And then the bow will fit in there and just hang just like that. So I like how that does go together. Looks good. And we'll get that on Gnawgahyde. We'll put it on his back in that peg hole. And oh, I think we got another issue here. So because of that vest, it does take a little bit of work to get that in there, but it does stay. You really got to force it in all the way to get into the back hole on this back. But once it's on there, it looks pretty good. There's a little bit of a gap on that side, the way it looks. This side's a little better, but it's not too bad. It is a new piece for Gnawgahyde. It is a new mold, so it does fit not too bad. And we definitely got to get that hat on him, and the hat fits on there perfectly. Very nice fit. So there's good old looking Gnawgahyde with his signature hat. You definitely got to have that on him. Looks pretty good there with that tattoo kind of showing down the side. So that looks really good. I like that a lot. For those two knives, so we've got the one that goes into the back knife sheath. Good fit there. It slides in snug. And the other one will go down, and this one here on his boot. And they do take a little bit of force to get them in there, but they do sit and they're nice. So that looks really good. I like that on them. And now for this stupid machete, which I'm not even going to use. If I can't get it straightened out, I'm not even going to use this because I'm not sure why he needs to have this. I understand the concept, so he can just kind of slash through the jungle or wherever he's hunting animals, but it doesn't even fit that well. I guess it's kind of like that. I get what they're trying to do, but I would just prefer just a regular machete, just that he could hold in his hand. I don't know, what do you guys think about that? I don't really like that at all. And because it's all bent up like that, I just think it's going to be a useless piece. but I will try to straighten her out. Hopefully Gnawgahyde's gonna stand. He's got a lot of weight on him with all these accessories. Now for the gun, so this will peg into the back of him, as we saw with low light, and then that other piece can go onto there, so we can look at that. So we can pack all this away into the case. Inside of the case is molded in that light brown color. All the pieces will fit in there, so he can carry the case, or we can put the. Let's take this stupid thing off. He definitely has that hand mold is the grip on it is quite tight, and as usual the sight fell off. So there he is with the rifle in hand. It fits in there pretty good. Let's put everything into the case. So everything fits in the case nicely, and hopefully it'll stay closed. Now this is what I want to try here. I want to see how well this all stays together. So if this piece here, the way that's molded to fit his back, peg sticks out quite far. So I don't know if that looks the greatest, but then we get this into the back. And it actually does stay in there pretty good, but that is definitely a lot of luggage. It's great that he can carry all the weapons, but I don't know, that just looks like a lot. It looks like a little bit too much, in my opinion. I think for me, for displaying this guy, I don't think I'm even going to use the gun at all, or the case. To me, a good look for Gnawgahyde is just having that bow and arrow on his back like that, and then he can have that, maybe carry the bow. And I'm probably not even going to use that machete because it's horrible. But there is Gnawgahyde, number 125 in the G.I. Joe Classified series from Hasbro. He is brand new. He is shipping right now. So it's a great looking set. There is some flaws. There is some issues. I think they could have done away with some of the stuff, as I've already said, the machete. Just give us a regular machete. Sniper rifle kit, it's pretty good. He definitely has to have that rifle. The bow and arrow look pretty good. Some quality issues there. The animals, Yobbo and Porkbelly, I think they did a really good job with those. They look really good. The articulation on Porkbelly is really good. They definitely put some work into that. And the overall figure of Gnawgahyde, I think, is fantastic. I think anybody that is a fan of this guy is going to love this figure. The set overall is very good. It just has a few issues. I definitely would recommend this if you're a Dreadnought fan. If you're a Gnawgahyde fan, then you definitely got to have this guy in your collection. He definitely looks really good. I can't wait to get him on my shelf with the other Dreadnoughts. Hopefully Torch will be here real soon, because he is one that I've been waiting for well, ever since they announced him, because like I said, I just love the Dreadnoughts. I want to make sure I have them all. Hopefully Xandar's coming out soon. And maybe we'll even get a Thrasher, maybe a Thunder Machine down the road, who knows. But that's about it, guys, for Gnawgahyde. Thanks a lot for watching, I really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Getting ever so close to 1,000 subscribers. Really hoping we get there soon. I appreciate everybody that has subbed to my channel, I really do appreciate it. Hit that like button if you like this video, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of Gnawgahyde. Have you got him yet? What do you think? What do you think of these accessories, the weapons, the animals that come with them? And please hit that bell so you know exactly when the next G.I. Joe Classified or any other video I post is up and ready for you guys to watch. So until the next video, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Take care, and we'll talk to you real soon.